Hi everyone, welcome back to Gdaynamaste. If you're new here, welcome to Gdaynamaste. My name is Amanda. You can call me Manda. And if you have been religiously watching my videos every week, thank you so much. A few weeks ago, I shared a video about my culture shocks and differences between Australia and India. I'll link it up top if you haven't watched it already, but I did promise that I would be sharing my experiences or the things that I love about India. So today's actually the 75th Independence Day for India. That's why we have the flag behind. So Bharat Mata Ki Jai, long live Mother India. And I thought today would be the perfect opportunity to film, just to film the things that I love about India. So I'm going to go through 10 of the top things that I love about Mother India. Number one on the list, I know it might seem really strange, but it's actually like the cost of internet. The cost of telecommunications here is actually very, very cheap compared to Australia. And, to be able to like recharge your phone to get as much data as you want is very cheap. Whereas in Australia, like to get maybe an extra like 1 gigabyte of data is $15. So that's around like let's say 750 rupees or something. Whereas here to get 1 gig of data is like less than 50 cents. So the cost of internet is really, really convenient. And most of the time it's actually quite fast, depending on your region. But even our Wi-Fi at home is very quick. Family dynamics and also the kind of family unit here. I know there's a lot of talk about living in a joint family, and sometimes it's really stressful and hard. As a foreigner going into an Indian family, it was a bit kind of overwhelming because my husband and his family are very close. Not that me and my family aren't close, but we don't, talk to each other every single day on call. We text and whatnot. But my husband and his family would talk every single day, and they live 30 minutes away. And I sometimes it is like a little bit overwhelming for me because I'm not used to having people around all the time. But for the most part, I actually really love it. Having that kind of family dynamic and that family unit around. And it makes me really excited for when we eventually decide that we are ready for children, knowing that our children will have that kind of relationship with both Sunil and I, and it's going to be a very like loving and like close family unit. The next point on the list is actually one that I have talked about in one of my previous videos on how I adjusted, the apps that I use in India to help me adjust. And it's actually like the payment options for online shopping. Not just the payment options, but also like the returns procedures and policies. It is so easy and convenient compared to Australia. Like I love online shopping here because if something arrives and it's the wrong size or the wrong fit or I don't want it, you just like book a return and they will come to you to pick it up. And I think that's just amazing. And the fact that you can pay cash on delivery and not necessarily just having cash on hand, but you can pay by card with the driver. You can pay like contactless payments. So India doesn't have Apple Pay, but similar sort of applications. So it's so convenient and easy. And we never have cash on us because of these really convenient payment options. And I love it. The quality and availability of fresh fruit and vegetables, my God. Everywhere you go out on the street, there are vegetable sellers, there are fruit sellers, whether they have like the produce on a little cart on the back of like a bicycle, or maybe they have a little stand set up. But you can just go from person to person getting different sorts of fruits and vegetables. And some people specialize in the one fruit. So you might find like someone selling just bananas, or when it's mango season, just mangoes, or lychee season, just a lychee little cart. And, when my mum came to visit me in May, because she would wake up early, she would go walking in the mornings and come home with all these fresh fruit and vegetables. And it was even easy for her to communicate, and she knows zero Hindi. So, I love going to the fruit and vegetable markets. I will actually do a video of me going to one of those eventually. But yes, I love going to the sabjiwalas or the falwalas and having a look at the fresh produce, picking like the ones that you want. And the only thing that I'm upset about is avocados are really hard to find here, but mostly like everything else is really easy. Like I can get the same kind of vegetables I ate in Australia: cucumber, tomato, broccoli, mushroom, beans. Lettuce is a bit hit and miss depending on where you go, but you can get it online. Those were the most, a carrot. I don't know, but they also have like other different local variety of, vegetables too. So, and it's so fresh, especially during like the apple seasons when the apples come straight from like the mountains and they're really delicious and yeah, very, very nice. And they also have like juice stands. So they have these cute little like kind of either vans or little pop-up huts where they will make you fresh juice. So whether you want like a mixed juice, orange juice, watermelon juice, pomegranate juice, and they make it with this really old school like hand style juicer. And yeah, it's really sweet. One thing I did talk about in my culture shock video was beggars coming up to the window of the car and asking for money or trying to sell like odd items. But on the flip side, people will come to your car selling like fresh fruit salad or like snacks, fresh coconut, my gosh. And I love when we go to the mountains or do long road trips and they will come up to you and like sell you these little plates of fruit salad, and it's so refreshing. And it's a bit of like I guess the flip side of people coming up and begging or selling random things like pens and or serviettes, napkins. Sometimes they'll even come and sell like the window shades to block the sun out. Really kind of random things, but convenient in the moment. So yeah, I really love that. They will make like the fresh fruit salad and they don't mess around either. They'll like put, some masala on there if you want masala. I don't, but Snil does. And they give you toothpicks and it's like this like little gourmet plate of fruit salad whipped up in less than a minute, because then the cars will keep moving. The next point is something that is kind of, is just really convenient and like good for laziness, but it's also very different to Australia, is petrol pumps, or we call them servos in Australia, the place you go to fill up with petrol, gas station, whatever the name is. It's not self-serve here. So they have people directing the traffic and they will fill up your diesel, gas, petrol, whatever for you. And then you just pay them directly, whether it's cash, contactless payment, card. And yeah, then you go on your way. I kind of understand, because when I think to how it is in Australia, so you fill up your petrol, you lock your car, you go inside to pay, and it's very organized. But sometimes there can be really long lines. And here, people do not do well with lines and having to wait. So people are always cutting in front of each other. Doesn't matter what kind of line it is, whether it's the line for the toilet or lining up to order food. Gas, like the petrol line, is the same. So they need people to be able to direct the traffic. Otherwise, it would just be a mess. So yeah, that was like a little kind of quirky thing that was really interesting to me, and I still really like it, is that it's not self-serve. But the only downfall with that is that the petrol stations in Australia, or the servos, when you go to pay, they have it's like a convenience store too. So you can get coffee, you can get food, or like food to go, chocolate, snacks. So on long road trips, you stop and get petrol, go to the bathroom. There might be a McDonald's there, or like just like a little service area that you can get snacks for the drive. So that's the only downfall about the petrol stations or the petrol pumps here. But other than that, it's like pretty convenient. Another little quirky thing is the trucks. So I'll put a picture up here, but the trucks are decorated, and they're not like your typical semi-trailer trucks that, you see in Western countries, but they're colorful and they're kind of, I guess, special to the driver. So they'll decorate it with maybe some God icons, maybe some quotes that are relevant to them, or they'll have some like Nazard kind of evil eye things to keep them safe. But they're just painted in these bright colors and they're really fun. And they have these really wild horns as well, or like, you know, not just your normal car horns. They make these funny sounds. And yeah, they just like add a lot of color to the streets. They're like really, really fun. And I'm pretty sure they have them in Pakistan too, from what I've seen. So it's not just like just for India, but to be able to see them. And my mum got really excited as well when she saw them, because there was one at our local petrol station for ages just sitting there. But yeah, it's brings a lot of excitement seeing it. Another thing that I love about India, or Indian kind of culture, is celebrating birthdays at midnight. At first that was very strange for me. And yeah, like celebrating right on midnight, cutting cake right on midnight. So, you know, my birthday is the 6th of June. So at 11:59 on the 5th of June, I'm there ready to cut my cake for when it turns midnight and it's officially my birthday. And birthdays are like a really, really big event. And I never used to like being sung happy birthday when I was younger. I would cringe at it, but I love it now. So being able to celebrate on midnight, and just celebrating birthdays in general. But my very first birthday here, Sunil didn't give me my birthday present until like dinner that night. And I was kind of like sad all day because I just moved here. My birthday was 3 days after I moved. And, you know, we did the cake cutting at midnight and it was very sweet. And then in Australia, we kind of do gift giving in the morning, like when we wake up. And so I was like kind of waiting for my gift because I thought, you know, I've just moved here and this is like a huge thing for me. It's my first birthday in like a different country after moving. I just thought that there would be like more of a deal about my birthday. So I was upset, but I was trying not to let Sunil show because I just moved here. And then he like kept asking me what's wrong. And then I told him, he's like, I was going to wait until dinner because he was taking me out for dinner. And so he was surprising me then. So that was actually really funny. But yeah, it was all good in the end. Leading off birthdays, so this is kind of the same point, is like feeding each other cake. So it's kind of quirky, kind of a bit weird, but it's also something I really love because it's just turned into like a tradition now. So whether it's birthday, when we moved into this apartment, we had a housewarming party and, you know, we did it then, anniversaries, any sort of function where there's cake, you cut the cake and then the person whose birthday it is takes turns being fed the cake from other people and you feed the cake to others. And it's something one of my friends actually said to me, like, she's like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, why do you feed each other cake? Because like every year I'd be posting photos of this. And I'm like, it's just something people do. It's like just like a cultural aspect that, you know, people celebrate birthdays or celebrate with cake. And even on our wedding, I'll put a photo up. We had a big cake, but no one really knew what to do because like times are changing and people are having cakes and it's much more common. But I guess the people at our wedding didn't really know what to do around a wedding cake. So Sunil's friends just started singing happy birthday because no one really knew what to do. And then like we fed each other cake. And it was like kind of weird, but kind of funny. And we got some really great photos from it. Next on the list is that mostly strangers are always willing to help. You know, I did sort of talk about in my last video that my video of my PAN card application actually, that a stranger gave us the wrong directions to the post office. So because people don't want to like kind of, I guess, admit when they don't know the answer to something, they'll still try and help in any way possible. So, you know, if you get stuck, people will come and help you. If you get stuck outside, I've been at the nail salon before and this is when I was on holidays here and I couldn't speak Hindi and I had no idea what the nail tech was saying. And there was a woman next to me who could see me struggling. And so she was like stepping in and talking and like translating for me. And I didn't have to ask. So mostly people are very helpful and friendly. And I really, really appreciate that, especially when people can see that I'm struggling with the language as well. There's been times where I've been trying to talk Hindi to a cab driver or a courier, and they'll say to me, it's okay, I speak English. So that's always a really big help for me because I do try and speak Hindi first rather than try and speak English and assume people can speak English. So yeah, when people do say, I can speak English, you can talk English, it makes it a lot easier for me. So I really, really love and appreciate that people are very friendly, very helpful. If you are lost, need help or assistance with anything really. People are always willing to help no matter their situation. So people could have like very, very little, but they will still do their best to try and help you. And people can have very little, but they will still like have so much joy in their lives. And it's something that it kind of grounds me a little bit and helps me to be more grateful, because I think like, you know, some materialistic things that we as humans can get upset about. I don't really know how to say this without sounding like I'm kind of invalidating other people's feelings. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that for me personally, sometimes I get really upset about some materialistic things or things that are just like kind of a bit silly. And then I look at people who have like very little and they're just like enjoying themselves and living their life and having so much fun. Like it was pouring rain yesterday and it'd been so hot all day. And I just saw these kids playing in the rain and they just looked like they were having the time of their lives. Like to bring that fun and joy back into my life or into our lives. And it comes from like simple things. The rain, playing in the rain. You know, it could be like, you know, whatever else it is, like running barefoot on the grass. You know, things like that. And I think that's a really, really special thing to celebrate. And I know that there is a lot of poverty in India, and it's something I did discuss in my culture shock video. And it is really, really terrible and it's heartbreaking to see. And then at the same time, you can see people in those kind of situations with the biggest smile on their faces and willing to do anything to help you. And I think that really that's a really, really special thing. Another thing which I really love about India is the convenient food delivery services. So you have like Uber Eats, but it's not like super common anymore. Zomato, Swiggy. Yes, Swiggy's Indian. Lots of availability, super cheap. Availability like late night, and delivery is like next to nothing. But if you want to order like something like that in Australia, delivery is easily like $15 to $20, never free. And it's like really, really expensive. And they only have like minimal options. But here, like every second food place kind of uses the delivery services, and there's just so much availability. And, you know, again, you can choose to do cash on delivery or you pay online, then you track your driver. You can choose to leave tips after they deliver and those sorts of things. Yeah, it's really cool actually. Because, you know, sometimes you just don't feel like cooking and you want to get takeout. I rarely got takeout in Australia because I was saving to move here. And again, it was really expensive, but here it's like a really, really convenient option. And I don't like making chapati. So if we do one chapati, usually I'll try and make the dough and Sunil will roll it out, or he does it all. Or I just order on Zomato. Like once I made saag, and saag is traditionally eaten with like makki ki roti, which is like corn chapati, and or like from corn flour, I should say. And I tried making that once and it just didn't turn out. So when I make saag, I will actually order chapati from outside, and it's quick, it's easy, and it's better than me like making it and fucking it up. All right, so that is everything. That's the 10 things I love about India. There's so much more, but I'm just trying to kind of keep it short and quick because I do have a habit of just talking a lot and my videos get really long. But, you know, with time, I'll probably release like a part 2 of other things as they come up and as I think about them. But this will give you a bit of an insight of some of the things I really love and enjoy about India. So thank you for watching.